Look at that funky break. Obviously this is Doublestar. This is their ARC, or Always Ready Carbine, and 300 Blackout. And that's what's coming up next on GBGuns. So some of you have asked when I do the rifles to show a little more of what's in the box. The box doesn't really fit on camera and scene, so I've got it out of the box here, but I will show you what else you get. It is in a cardboard box and came in a sealed bag. We do get an aluminum magazine. I believe it's aluminum, made by Doublestar. Might even be steel. C Products, good company. Advertisement for the NRA. Nice decal. And here's the manual. This says AR-15 manual, so it might be one for all rifles. Yep, looks like they used just a generic model in there. Tricolor with photos, so in case this is your first time with an AR or you've got specific questions, it'll be answered in here. Now on to the rifle. We shot the Midnight Dragon, their Varmint Precision AR, and it was spectacular. Fell in love with it. Immediately we wanted to try their other rifles. So that's why we've got the ARC in 300 Blackout. Now ARC, Always Ready Carbine, is an interesting idea. A fighting gun, right? So it's kept to the essentials, but with enhancements. And I've noticed as well, it comes with their iron sights. These are locked in place. You got to push to bring them down. Sorry, they're not locked down, they do lock up, but you have to push the button to bring it down. Nice to have backup sights already included in the gun. This muzzle device is obviously going to be a compensator slash brake with an angular cut, and probably a bit of a flash hider with that big mouth there. At the very least, it's an intimidating end, and I think a neat piece. We look in here, we can see that our gas block is rather far back, probably pistol length, which makes sense with 300 Blackout, especially if you're going to run low power or subsonic. Looking at our rail, it's M-lock, nice and thin, nothing to snag your hands on. The rail to receiver fit is impeccable, very nicely done there. Here's our rear sight. We have an enlarged charging handle, both the grabbing surface here and having that wing out on the end. I'll get the bolt out. Nice and cleanly assembled. I like that you can see there's Loctite. Looks like they put the same attention to detail on this rifle as they did on the Midnight Dragon. Looking at our bolt and carrier. Carrier looks pretty standard, although that's probably the deepest staking I've ever seen. Good job there, guys. Pull this out if it wants to come out with the finger. Nope. You have to grab a tool real quick. Grab that pin out. Whew, stuck in there with the factory packing grease. There we go. There's that grease and the bolt itself. I've been asked often if the O-rings are included on bolts, which I think is pushing it a little far, but let's take a look. And yes, that is the enhanced extractor with the little rubber ring on it. So now we know. You're getting more than just standard GI, or at least the old school GI. That was an update, by the way, that still hadn't circulated through the whole army while I was in there. Snug fitting. Alright, let's get that out of the way and take a look at our lower. Pretty standard GI fit, GI pistol grip, and it looks like standard trigger. which I can respect, because you know what? Those are two things that people probably have the most personal, picky likes and dislikes about, and are most likely to change. So why pay for a fancy, expensive one that you're probably going to have to change anyways or want to change? We do have the painted selector, which makes it really obvious. And this buttstock I think is really cool. So obviously it's on there with a nylon lock washer, plenty of holes here for attachment points. You've got rail space here if you wanted to put a monopod or something else on there. Comes with a QD point and very cushy rubber. But what if you don't like that, or if you're worried about this length of pole being too short or too long? Doublestar thought about that, and they include a standard M4 style that pop this up, slide this on, there you go. So, no complaining about that. Run to the other side of it. It's the Doublestar marking. Everything nice and cleanly assembled. How would you like to see this tested? That's a question I have for you. Because 300 Blackout, man, 300 Blackout has a wide variety of rounds. I mean, as far between, I don't know, what's the lightest I've seen? Maybe 110, maybe 105. Has it gotten lighter than that before? Then you've got your options with the super heavy 220 grain, all kinds of different velocities, different types. Would you like to see it shot with a can on it, shot without? Do we group at 50 with subsonic and 100 with supersonic? What about optic? I'm thinking a 1 to 4 on this, since 300 Blackout's generally a closer in type round. All I know is the coverage that I have seen of this rifle out there, I wasn't too impressed with. Just folks that seemed like they didn't quite know what they were doing, or maybe weren't taking the time to find the right ammo for it as if they owned it. I'm really excited to have this in. Make sure to click the bell so you know when our shooting impressions video comes out, and we'll get this to the range and test it the way you wanted to see it tested. Thanks for watching.